continue to complain about their high NIPSCO energy bills.
A consumer group says it has become an affordability crisis that is 15 years in the making. In this follow-up, Brett Pagansky shows you how you, the consumer, can change that.
Do they know how many people they're affecting?
You've heard from several NIPSCO customers.
At this point, anything counts. I'm trying to work as much hours as I can and trying to catch up.
Many struggling to make ends meet.
No to NIPSCO! No to NIPSCO!
Resulting in protests outside of NIPSCO offices.
What is your message to state lawmakers when they see this?
My message to state lawmakers is, just like the midterms coming around, you are not safe. You are not safe.
We point the finger to, in a large part, to the legislature and the favorable policies that have been passed over the last 15 years.
Kerwin Olson is the executive director of Citizens Action Coalition, who pointed at 3 bills which essentially made it legal for companies like NIPSCO to get reimbursed for billions of dollars for their infrastructure projects. And you're paying for it.
We are focused on job creation, growing the tax base first. I don't want to put all the blame on the General Assembly, because we certainly believe that the Commission could have been doing more over these years in terms of protecting customers.
The good news is your voice is being heard. The legislators and the people in Indianapolis, they know that you're at the breaking point with these rates.
In 2026, Indiana lawmakers are considering bills designed to give you more certainty and hold companies like NIPSCO more accountable for any utility rate increases.
Eliminating the sales tax on utility bills is a major structural revenue change.
But so far, lawmakers have not given residents any immediate financial relief.
Is there a real concern from some lawmakers about getting voted out of office because of this very issue?
Affordability is a top-notch issue. We've seen some election results sort of go in unexpected ways across the country in recent days. They know folks are paying attention, and I think folks are concerned about outcomes at the ballot box.
Brett Pagansky, Fox Chicago.
All right, folks. That was a news report from Fox News, Fox 32, not Fox News. Lord knows there's a difference. NIPSCO has been on a lot, pretty much everybody's tongue here in Northwest Indiana, because good Lord, these rates are really exorbitant, should I say? But the bad news is it's probably going to get worse. We've got a little bit of breaking news here. Rates are going to probably go up, inch up even more to pay for 2 old coal plants. Old coal plants that the Trump administration has taken over. Some would say unlawfully. I'll let other people legislate that. Citing what else? The need for data centers. They need energy for these data centers. The Federal Energy Regulation Commission has approved shifting the data center driven cost onto the good people of Indiana. Yeah. NIPSCO has said that complying with the Trump administration will cost more than $100 million. Come on, Florida, you gotta give us that again. Damn. Yes. So it's going to cost $100 million to comply with the Trump administration orders. Centerpoint is also anticipating that they will need to make large investments to keep its small, unreliable, it's much smaller coal plant operational. Now, some good news is that CAC Indiana, along with legal representation from Earth Justice, has filed a lawsuit at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit on this. So hopefully this is not settled, that there are lawsuits happening at the D.C. Circuit level. But yeah, this is important. Residential electric rates have climbed almost 30% since 2014. 30% since 2014. And for all the inflation bugs out there, that is far outpacing inflation. And other states close to us. So we've got to let them know that we have had enough. As Hoosiers, as Americans, we've had enough. Really. We're in a situation now where Amazon is building an $11 billion AI campus right here in the state of Indiana. Again, this is going to use as much electricity as about 1 million homes. And it will use 300 million gallons of water every single year. 300 million gallons of water. It will use as much electricity as 1 million homes, and they are forcing you to pay for it. While the people who benefit from this, the Jeff Bezoses, the Elon Musks, the Sam Altman, these people are making more money than ever before. They are rapidly becoming the richest human beings who've ever lived. Elon Musk is already the richest human being who's ever lived. He's passed Mansa Musa as the richest human being who's ever lived. He's worth close to $1 trillion now. Far past people like Rockefeller and Carnegie and those types of people. Elon is worth close to $1 trillion. And there's going to be consequences for this. The Department of Energy has released a new report that is warning that Americans could face 800 hours of blackouts by 2030. Yeah, blackouts are going to become a regular occurrence for all of us. Citing rising electricity demand driven by artificial intelligence and data center expansion. So this is what's happening here. Again, as I talk about very regularly, people have used data centers for many years. We've had data centers for many years. This isn't a new thing. What is new is artificial intelligence and the rapid expansion of data centers and the amount of pollution and energy that is needed to run these modern data centers, these newer data centers. In the last 5 years, this has become an explosion. The last really 2 or 3 years, this has become an explosion. So this is not, again, this is not about you watching cat videos on YouTube or posting about your grandchildren or your children graduation on Facebook. AI and these data centers, the newer ones, the expansion of the rapid expansion of this is all about the surveillance state. They are going to hoover up every ounce of data possible about you, about me, about all of us. That's what they're doing. They are creating a world in which it will be impossible for us to dissent against them, because everything we do will be surveilled. I played the clip some months ago of Larry Ellison talking about how in the future there won't be any crime because they'll be watching everything we do. All of it. They'll be watching every single thing we say or do. So here's what Larry Ellison had to say.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras, it's AI that's looking at the camera. No, you can't do this. It would be like a shooting. That's going to be immediately, that's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off, it's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised
So that's basically, he's talking about the police and he's talking about citizens. We all will be on our best behavior. The police will be, the way they're selling it is that, well, the police will be on their best behavior, but we'll also be on our best behavior as well, because everything we see, everything we do will be monitored as well. That's the second richest man in the world, right there, Larry Ellison, who just got $500 billion from Donald Trump to do exactly that, to create a surveillance state. That is what those data centers are for. They are not for you to upload cat videos to YouTube or to post about your grandchild's graduation. And a lot of people are selling, you all use data centers. We used data centers 20 years ago. Gas and electricity wasn't going up 30% then, was it? This is something different. This is something else other than just you posting something for, about your grandkids' graduation. This is the surveillance state. This is what they're doing. This is what they want. And so now the energy department is estimating that the United States will need 100 gigawatts of new power generation over the next 5 years, half of it to meet the growing demands of data centers, just data centers, nothing else. However, officials warned that current plans for energy supply fall short of meeting this critical need. Now, this is what the Energy Secretary, Christopher Wright, had to say. In the coming years, America's reindustrialization and the AI race will require a significantly larger supply of around-the-clock, reliable, and uninterrupted power. President Trump's administration is committed to advancing a strategy of energy addition and supporting all forms of energy that are affordable, reliable, and secure. If we are able to keep the lights on and win the AI race and keep electricity prices from skyrocketing, the United States must unleash American energy. The report from him criticizes the closure of coal and natural gas plants and warns against over-reliance on renewables. So this is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about. You notice, whenever they want to take some more of our rights, they always frame it as about national security. After 9/11, this is how we ended up with this surveillance state, the Patriot Act. They said, well, because of terrorism, we have to be able to tell which library books you take out. We have to be able to tap your phone without you knowing about it. We have to be able to have unfettered access to your life. And a lot of people went with it. Barack Obama expanded it after George Bush implemented it. During COVID, it was, well, we have to be able to force you to take a vaccine that was developed under Operation Warp Speed. We have to be able to force you to wear a mask and stay 6 feet away from anybody. When the Ukraine war started, we can't allow you to criticize Ukraine or talk about how corrupt Ukraine is because that's helping Russia. When Iraq was going on, we can't allow you to be anti-war or to criticize the president like the Dixie Chicks did because you're helping Saddam Hussein. They always posit it as, we are protecting you. We're protecting you. That's what it is. We need to destroy the environment here in America and create these huge data centers that suck up all the energy and emit ungodly amounts of pollution in your communities, which is why we're seeing people getting sick in Memphis in mass due to Elon Musk's Grok data center down there. We have to allow you to be able to do this. We have to be able to do this. And if we destroy you, kill the environment, force you to have to pay, $1,000 a month for electricity, then so be it. But we're going to get what we want, and you're going to give it to us. But is there a different way? I think you might say that other countries have started to deal with this a little bit, maybe a little bit better than we have. China, in particular, is ahead of the United States in generating and building out power infrastructure to support AI data centers. There's rapid centralized expansion of electricity generation, including both massive renewable projects, and traditional dispatchable power, has created a significant capacity advantage in the race to support AI workloads. So what is China doing? How is China being able to generate so much power?
China just pulled off something that sounds straight out of science fiction: the world's first wind-powered underwater data center. While most tech giants fight rising power costs and heat issues on land, one Chinese company decided to take the servers underwater and power them with offshore wind. So, how does it work? Why does it matter? And could this be the future of cloud computing? Let's dive in. iCloud is a division of Highlander Group, stock code 300065, a Chinese company founded in 2001 which works in intelligent ocean navigation solutions. The Chinese firm completed the first phase of its underwater data center project off the coast of Shanghai's Lingang Special Area. The project cost around 1.6 billion yuan, or roughly $222 million, and it's being built in 2 stages. Phase 1, a 2.3 megawatt demonstration. Phase 2, scaling up to 24 megawatts in total. The company claims that over 90% of its energy will come from offshore wind farms, while the surrounding seawater provides natural cooling, cutting energy use dramatically. So how do you keep a data center running under the sea? The servers are packed into pressure-sealed steel modules, resting on the seabed and connected to the mainland by telecom and power cables. Cold ocean water circulates around the modules, cooling the racks far more efficiently than air-conditioned warehouses on land. That simple trick drops the cooling power share from about 40 to 50% down to under 10%. And thanks to renewable wind energy, the project targets a power usage effectiveness below 1.15, one of the best in the world. Data centers already consume nearly 2% of global electricity, and that number is climbing fast thanks to AI and cloud computing. By moving facilities underwater, iCloud is attacking 2 major problems: energy demand and cooling efficiency. This design also saves land space and fresh water, both limited near China's big cities. The company says it can reduce total energy use by 30 to 40% compared to land-based centers. If successful, they plan to scale this to 500 megawatts of underwater capacity. That's like powering hundreds of thousands of homes. This isn't the first time someone tried putting servers underwater. Back in 2015, Microsoft's Project Natick tested a similar concept off Scotland's coast, and it worked. But Microsoft ended the project in 2024, calling it experimental. China, meanwhile, is going commercial. Earlier this year, iCloud launched another undersea data center near Hainan Island, making this Shanghai project the first wind-powered one. So, while Microsoft made the first splash, China is the first to actually build and scale this idea. This project fits right into China's national push for what it calls Eastern data, Western computing, spreading digital infrastructure efficiently across the country. If iCloud's ocean servers prove stable and cheap to maintain, it could open a whole new category of green data infrastructure: modular, offshore, renewable-powered, and climate-resilient. But challenges remain. Underwater maintenance, environmental monitoring, and long-term corrosion control aren't small issues. Still, it's a bold experiment that could redefine how we think about the Internet's physical footprint. So, data centers under the sea, powered by the wind above. It's a poetic combination of nature and tech, and maybe a glimpse at the future of computing. Do you think this idea will go mainstream or sink like a failed prototype?
See, this is what happens when you have a government that is focused on actually making life better and more sustainable for its population, and isn't run by the Epstein class that is about really just maintaining a status quo that benefits them. Between 2010 and 2024, China's power production increased by more than the rest of the whole world combined. In 2024 alone, China added 543 gigawatts of power capacity, more than the total capacity added by the United States in its entire history. Please, show this to these people who tell us all the time how the government can't do anything but help the rich get richer and declare more wars on black and brown people in the Middle East or in Africa. That's pretty, or in Latin America now, since we just kidnapped Venezuela's president and bombed Ecuador. We can't possibly do anything, ever. And the Democrats and the Republicans will both tell you that. We can't do anything. What did Tupac say? They got money for wars but can't feed the poor. They can't feed the poor. They can't do anything to stop the outpour of jobs from our communities. They can't do anything about the prices of housing prices, of the price of food, or the price of gas. All they can do is just throw more money at rich people and hope that their generosity trickles down. All they can do is hope the rich choose to trickle on us. By 2030, China is projected to have roughly 400 gigawatts of spare power capacity, which is triple the expected power demand of the global data center fleet at that time. Wow. China is actively shifting energy-intensive data centers to its resource-rich Western regions while powering them with surplus renewable energy like wind and solar. Data centers in China can pay less than half of the rates for electricity that American data centers do. Once again, please tell me about all the things that they can't do. America is simultaneously the greatest country in the history of the world, according to all of our politicians and many of our citizens, but can't afford to do anything. But they find a way to give $200 billion to Ukraine, $200 billion for this war in Iran. They find ways to do that. They find ways to give tax breaks to Elon Musk and to Jeff Bezos and the Epstein class. They find ways to help them, but they can't find any way to help us. No, you're going to have to pay way more for NIPSCO for the next 1,000 years so that they can actually spy on you and prevent you from being able to overthrow them. If y'all continue to let this happen, y'all even bigger fools than they think you are. This is why I jumped off the plantation of both parties many, many years ago, and I ain't going back. Period. The two-party duopoly in this country is beyond. It's not broken, it's fixed. The system isn't broken, the system is fixed. It is working exactly the way that they want it to work. All right, folks. When we get back, we got to talk about college tuition. So stay with us here on WLTH 1370 AM. That's 92.7 in the FM dial. If you're nasty, the region's choice, the people's voice. We'll be right back.